so I can bring it outside where there's more light, because it's a little dark in here. Turn this off, fan off. Might affect the microphone too much. Alright. Let me just, maybe you guys if you want to see this a little bit more. All right, so here is the main iDrive screen. This is what you see. This is your, well, like I said, the main view. You have 4 different areas, I guess you can call it, that you can choose. For example, there's entertainment on the bottom, climate on the left, communications on the top, and navigation on the right. Climate I tend not to use too much because they have some dedicated controls right there, but if it's just mainly if you wanted to use park car operation, which pretty much turns the fan on at certain times that you set. It works well. If it's a hot day, it's only going to blow hot air, so you gotta take that into account, but it does blow air. Also, you can set the automatic programs. So I usually set it to intensive because I find that medium and soft are just too anemic when it's cold outside or when it's hot outside. So mainly when it's hot. So that's pretty much that. And you can also control the different fan speeds. They're also controlled from here. You can see top, middle, and bottom. Top, middle, and bottom right there. So if I increase this one, these lights turn on. And more air starts to come from the top. If I decrease it, that light turns off completely. But for now, just keep it at auto. Okay, just lowered it because it might be a little too loud. Alright, so on the right is your main assistance window, which can be set to pretty much anything. This always stays on. Regardless of where you are in the menu. It could be any one of things. Like you can have the different types of maps. There's 3 of them. North facing travel and perspective view, which is kind of like Infinity's bird's eye view. Let me get a better shot of that. Also, you can choose arrow display, which tells you pretty much where you are. For whatever reason, it's not going whatever. Current position, trip computer, onboard information. Kind of junky gas mileage, but it's alright. And so you can just turn it off completely, but for now I'll keep it at the map direction of travel view. And also you can change the heights of how far you are from it. But for now, just to make it easier for me when I'm driving, I keep it at 400 just so I know what's coming up and the name of the streets are more accurate. So this is the main screen again. And from here we'll go to entertainment. And you can tell it's very quick. There are 5 different settings, as you can see. FM, alright, so you could just use that as a regular slider and choose the station that you want. So let's say 105.1. Choose that, or I can go up 1 level and go to my presets. They haven't been set yet, but I will set them at a future date. Also, you can go to AM. Don't listen to AM as much. Satellite radio is always a favorite. But we'll just choose hip hop for now. But we'll lower it because it's might be a little too intrusive. Alright, so that's how your stations of satellite radio work. You've also got your CD. But one thing I also like is that, as opposed to the old version of the iDrive, I don't know if you guys have iDrive in your cars, you'll know what I'm talking about, the older ones particularly. If you wanted to change stations, you'd have to hit the iDrive controller twice, once to bring up a little window to ask if what you wanted to do, if you wanted to have it in your if you wanted to play it, or if you wanted to set it as preset now, you just hit it once and it goes directly to that station. For another one, once brings it right to that station, which is a good touch as opposed to before you had to go through a few steps, and also before it wasn't as quick. So now that it's quicker, it makes life a lot easier. Alright, so that was entertainment. And there's navigation to the right. And you can have any number of things. As your address book, information, and there's traffic information. After I got mine updated, the bottom right here used to say TI Plus, now it just says TI. I don't know exactly what happened. It, as far as effectiveness, it hasn't done anything. It still works really great. You can't see it on any of these maps, as opposed to the Acuras, I believe, have it that show up on the navigation screen. But if you do travel as far as I know, using navigation, it does alert you to it, and it does reroute it if you wish. Also, there's navigation. I already have an Exxon station I go to. If I ever need gas, go there. You can choose different maps from below. So if I wanted a bigger map on the left, I could just have it direction of travel, and I'd have two maps, which would be kind of redundant, but it's alright. I'll just change this one to, say, trip computer. So now I have a map on the left and a trip computer on the right, and it's pretty convenient. So that's that. And then there's the information on certain things. Maybe you could, if you wanted to change your audio settings, you know, balance fader, treble bass, speed, volume control, equalizer, which is pretty good actually if you want the truth. You can set it to whatever, and it does work well. Surround settings, there's 3 of those: theater, concert hall, and off. I just choose theater for whatever reason. And let's just bring it back. You also have display brightness, steering wheel buttons, which are these 2 buttons right here. They could be changed to whatever functions you want. Vehicles and tires, tells you about all that stuff. Bluetooth. You have the communication up here. It's not connected right now, so I can't show you very much of it, but it does work well. The integration is well. It does work well. What else is there? There's also the voice command, which works well. So if I wanted to put my CD on, little guy comes on. CD on.
CD on.
And it's got a good voice. Not as good as some of the other ones, but it's got a really good voice. I wish BMW would change the voices on the navigation, but this guy's got a pretty good voice. A little nitpicky, but not a big deal. And there's a couple buttons here. The menu to go back, and for your voice control. And yeah, that's the iDrive.